Dear Obi, can you tell us how you came to find the flying spaghetti monster? Also, whatever happened to your license? May the sauce be upon you, Robin.
Dear Robin, well, that is a long story. My mother died from brain cancer several years ago. I found something that she wrote for me. It said, "To my sons, there are two things to remember. A faith in God and use your common sense. This will get you through anything, Mom." Well, it's difficult to ignore your mother's final wish from beyond the grave, so I embarked upon a reluctant spiritual journey. I tried taking an honest look at religion, but nothing I found felt right. Many times I became frustrated and gave up, but somehow my mother would always lead me back. I found myself wishing that there was a religion out there that didn't take life so seriously or wasn't tied up with thousands of years of conflict and oppression. Well, one day I discovered the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I know many think that I'm just being silly or that I'm out to make fun of people, but that's never been my intent. In the colander or strainer is my way of religious expression. This is part of my spiritual quest to make people laugh and enjoy life. This is an important part of my identity, and therefore I want this included in my driver's license photo. Well, ICBC wasn't having any of it. After months of secretive theological deliberation, our government licensing agency concluded that my religion is a parody. My photo is not acceptable, and if I want to continue driving, I should take the colander off. This is odd because the very same photo was approved for my BC Services card, and even the federal government approved the strainer in my passport photo. The loss of my driver's license was very hard on me. I love my cars, and I have many of them. Furthermore, my employer threatened to fire me, and I had to take the bus everywhere, and I was forced to pay car insurance on several cars that I couldn't drive. This lasted for months. So I lodged a complaint with the Human Rights Tribunal. ICBC did grant me a temporary license while I pursued the complaint, but they imposed several bizarre conditions. One of them was to not directly or indirectly disclose that I had been issued a temporary license. Why this condition? What purpose could this serve, and how was I supposed to avoid violating it? Anyway, rather than complaining, I made the most of my renewed license. I always try to do charity work for the church, and sometimes I think religious leaders spend too much time praying instead of actually getting things done. So I've been volunteering once a week, driving a truck for the food bank. Sometime in December, I received a reply from the Human Rights Tribunal. My complaint had been rejected. The tribunal also concluded that my religion was a parody and therefore not eligible for religious protection. They made this decision without even a hearing. This is the same Human Rights Tribunal that would accept testimony from Luke Skywalker. Well, the time came when ICBC pulled my license again. They would only say that I hadn't met one of the conditions of the temporary license. What was it? They wouldn't tell me, and to this day I still have no idea. So I was back to taking the bus, but now I had to tell the food bank that they were short a driver. This bothered me the most, since the food bank was already struggling. ICBC was now interfering with the food bank's ability to feed hungry people. And so I felt it was time I took off the colander, let them take the photo, and get my license back. So that's where I'm at. I have to appeal to the Supreme Court simply to gain a proper hearing at the Human Rights Tribunal, also that ICBC will allow religious headgear that other provincial and federal agencies allow. Look, the universe is a strange place. Why are we here? How should I live? What's the meaning of all this? I'm simply dissatisfied with Bronze Age answers. Worshipping pasta may sound odd to some people, but it's my way of dealing with these questions. It works for me, and it connects me to a global community, and we just feel more comfortable with spaghetti than the alternatives. Actually, my story doesn't even end here. When I took the colander off, they told me that they would mail me my license within 2 or 3 weeks. Well, when that temporary expired and I still hadn't received it, I called to ask why. They said that there was some kind of error and that they would mail it, and to just go in and get another temporary printed up in the meantime. Well, when I got there, they told me that the license was lost in the mail, so they took another photo, this time with my ceremonial pirate gear, and gave me yet another temporary license, which expires on October 14th. We'll just have to wait and see. Sauce be upon you, Obi.